to talk what is my experience in developing product, because I have been into developing product because I founded first company. What I founded is Suncraft Energy Private Limited. That is in the year of 2011 in the space of solar energy, where we developed a solar inverter off grid and as well as an on grid, and we are still into that development with coming up with a micro solar inverter with a collaboration of a lot of institutions as well as some multilateral organizations. And then I founded in the year of 2018 Sustino Advisory Private in the area of sustainability, because what we felt that a lot of people talks about sustainability, but there is a requirement of measuring this sustainability. Unless and until you measure this sustainability, the valuation part remains very unanswered. So measuring sustainability, and based on that, if there could be a financial model and valuations on any activities on any product, then it makes a lot of sense. And then we in the year of 2020, I have been working with a lot of college mates. We thought that it's important for nation to have an institutionalized product development ecosystem, because we are developing engineers or technologists eventually looking for jobs. So it's not something which we are delivering a person who is with his skill who can deliver jobs as well as at the same time. So Scholar Lab Foundation is aiming on developing products with institutionalized approach. So developing product in a startup, I always feel that getting an order is extremely important for a startup. I always started my all ventures. First is order. Okay, and order, when you get an order, you must have an idea to sell it first. Sell the idea. It's important to me, and if you see the quite a few journey of great entrepreneurs in the world, like Steve Jobs to Bill Gates, they had an order first before they had delivered that product. So an idea, and it has to be a new one. It's very important to find out that whether it's new or not, and understand that it can be given shape. In India, I have been touring to different institutes, including all premium institutes, talking to professors, and I found that they understand a lot of technologies, but understanding a product is very, very limited. Okay, so product has to have an utility, and it's the complete offerings, and product deals with the customers, where the technology deals with the entrepreneurs. Okay, so the entrepreneur has to feel that it can be given shaped and can be developed. Something which we cannot be developed in the reasonable time, it's an effort we should not be taken. Can be so.
হ্যাঁ বলছি যে আজকে তাহলে মিট করছি আফটারনুনে মোটামুটি 4টে নাগাদ তাহলে। ঠিক আছে, এই সল্ট লেকে সিটি সেন্টারে মিট করে নিচ্ছি আমার।
Yeah, am I audible to you all?
Yes sir.
Can be sold in a market with high profit. It is extremely important for a product development startup to make sure that your profit is very high. And if the profit is not extremely high, then going forward, establishing in a sustained way an organization will be difficult. So anybody who deals with a product must to make sure that they don't deal with a product or come up with a product which is already existing in market and delivers a minuscule or a marginalized profit. It doesn't make any sense, and can be adapted and evolved with the market requirement. It can evolve with phase 1, phase 2, or the version 1, version 2, version 3, something like that. So that has to be that framework, or that framework has to be in the mind of the entrepreneur, whoever is trying to develop this product, and can generate sustained profit for sometimes, at least. I'm not saying the sustained revenue. Revenue is an effort of collective effort, but the profit is inbuilt in the product development. That's how I learned from this experience. because revenue is a gruesome effort from all the collective effort of the marketing team, the organizational team. But whether there is profit is completely inbuilt in your developed product. Possible framework. We always, innovation is the only hope that I always tell, because unless and until there is an innovation, the high profit will be absent. Okay, so unless and until that high profit is there, your sustainability is also will be an issue. So, and product is an individual idea. We cannot, come up with a product with a collective idea, and that could be a business, that could be how to develop that product. But product is essentially has to come from an individual. That individual may talk to different persons, may talk to different professionals, but it has to be ideated mind of an individual, because that individual can understand the product better, can shape the product better. And product is a complete offer. One is to aim high profit, and profit is good, as that I always told. And development requires to be de-risking. So look for one ecosystem, which is absent currently in India, and we are working on that thing, whether how to de-risk this development process. And de-risking process in creating an ecosystem, institutional framework, it means that whether this development can be done with the support of different institutions available in India, and they can fund, if not the full, but partially. And very important that when you develop with the institutions, you may not have the entire IP with you, whether there is a possibility of co-hosting IP or sharing IP. Then engage resources from domain and deliver on time. Then delivery hub, the ultimate area, which should take care that it must be delivered on time. The essence, time and time. The product must come in a targeted time frame with agreed milestones with the budgeted cost. This budget is always overshoot, but still there has to be budget. Okay, so engage yourself. It is very important that whoever does it has to be, it is my product. It is somebody's not else product cannot be developed. It's very difficult to develop other product. Once the manufacturing can be done, which is other products, but developing it's extremely difficult to develop other products. And targeted time-driven approach, and engage professional as open source. So when I'm saying as an open source, it's very, this is my experience, we easily go carried away and give personal equity share and everything. But learning is that it becomes an issue later on. So hire people, do not involve them into an equity structure, unless and until you're sure that the person will be able to be at the vision and also the mission as we have and as you have. So I have written it before also, but again, that a startup must grow. Today the startup has to grow in future time, and so it has to be a sustained thing. It cannot be just we do a startup and then again going for another startup. But a startup has to become a good company or a corporate. So innovation is the only hope. So keep on innovation. And product is an individual idea. Product is a complete offer.
Sir, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah, please.
So you mentioned somewhere in your speech that if you don't have high profit margin, sustainability is an issue. Yeah. Why is that so, sir?
Yeah, because you see that I have done a lot of research on this. This is my research area also. Whoever does the innovation, the hope of innovation is if you are not having high profit, and if you are not having the high profit, as you said, the question is if you are not having high profit, well, with the sustainability issue, because you have competitive forces. When you are competitive forces, over the years, your high profit will become the marginalized profit. And when your profit will come down, because somebody else will try to copy you. They will always try to squeeze your profit. Unless and until you have a high profit, from startup to growth path, to the growth part, you will not be able to travel, because you have infrastructure cost, you have nobody others, no other to support you. Unless and until you have high profit, investor also will not be ready to look into it. So there are three reasons. One is that your growth has to be your journey path has to be settled, means you have to ensure your journey from startup to a grown company. One. Second, you have to entice investors. Third, that you must remember that your profit will come down. So unless and until you have a benefit of innovations, you will not be able to sustain. Could I answer your question?
I have a question here.
Yeah.
This is Vishal Gupta.
Vishal.
My question is, as you're talking about the sustainability factor, and majorly what has been seen in the market.
Hello, I'm so sorry, Vishal. There was some problem with my network. I have a follow-up for him. Can you just complete?
Sure.
Yeah. So, sir, if you have a high profit margin, you won't have a mass market. And if you don't have a mass market, why will any investor support you in your innovation, no matter what you're doing? You need to keep your profit margins low so that you can cater to a mass market and increase your customer base. That is how growth hacking is done, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Akshat, do not call me sir, first of all. Okay, you call me Robin. Okay, I'm very comfortable with Robin. And second one is, as you say, that if you are having high profit, market may not be able to touch you. That's what your concern is, right?
You won't have mass market. Like, you'll only have a very small portion of the market engaging with your products.
No, it's not true. It's not true. See, I give you an example of those who are very successful entrepreneurs. If you talk about Elon Musk, if you talk about Steve Jobs, if you see their product margin, if you see their life history, you will find impeccable profit margin. It's extremely high profit margin. Okay.
So these examples are of people who are one-off cases. If
I'm
100
talking
people
about
Hello. Hi.
Akshat, I'm talking about the product development. Okay, if you are doing a business with the regular products, that's a different thing, because you're already in a market where your profit margin will be always low. If you are developing a product, if you are not having a high profit, then you will not be able to sustain.
Hi, sir. I'm really sorry to
most of the entrepreneurs fall into this trap.
So I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but the question and answer session should be at the end when all the speakers are done with their topics. So I'm really sorry, but you all can continue with this conversation once all the speakers are done with their topics.
I would like to request the host to enable chat so that we can exchange email IDs and share questions over chat as well.
Yes, sir, that we will surely do that at the end of the session. Once everyone is done, we will have the question and answer and interactive session. At that time,
no, the chat box for sharing of email IDs.
Yes, sir. We will. I'll inform the host.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I'm almost done with my thing. That's my experience. That and the entrepreneur must, whoever is to the product, that must appreciate that profit is good.
Just a second. Robin, if I second, just 1 second, I want to tell you, you both are right, because you are talking something. Robin is talking something on internet or other things, and Jalan was talking something of a different type. So they both are right in their own places. This is all I can tell you with my experience. That's all. Thank you.
No, if you are targeting a mass market, if you are targeting a new product, see, I'm talking about a product development. Essentially, it has to be a new. Okay, even if it is a mass market, if your profit margin is not high, it will be an issue, and it's a trap. I must always say it's a trap that if your profit margin is not high, many companies have suffered from that. So they keep the marginalized profit, and eventually when they are coming to a competition, and they again sacrifice that profit. So it becomes and then it becomes an price over, which is extremely difficult for a company to sustain. Unless and until company comes to, it's no more a startup, then it's a price war is better, it's fine, good. But when the company is a startup, they must keep away from the competition. Otherwise, it will be extremely difficult for the sustenance. So thank you very much. I think I would be ready to take